Hey church family, one verse of scripture for you today. In 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 5, it says that we are to take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. What does it mean to take your thoughts captive? It simply means getting control over what you think about yourself, and what you think about life. It means that what you put in your mind has an effect on what you think. Do you remember how when you were a kid you'd watch those scary movies and then you'd have nightmares? It didn't take long for you to realize that the way to avoid the nightmares was to stop watching that kind of movie. God has provided a way to overcome unhealthy thoughts and behaviors and gain the self-control you seek. It's a matter of taking charge of your mind His way. A pastor friend of mine was sharing about what a Stanford University professor said about the thoughts that we think. The professor was talking about the internet, and he said, it's like we've developed a whole new blood supply in our culture. And like any other blood supply, it can deliver nutrients or it can deliver toxins. He said we have to learn that every thought you happen to have is not necessarily correct or true, but your emotions will take your thoughts and run with them like a boat down a stream. Again, these insights come from a Stanford neurologist sharing how our neural system is impacted by the thoughts we think, whether those thoughts are true or not. This is why it's so important to take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. But how do you do that? Let me encourage you that one of the best ways is to run your thoughts through a filter. We've looked at one filter that Scripture gives us in Philippians 4 and verse 8, where Paul writes, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Embrace the thoughts that meet that criteria and reject the ones that don't. Maybe you could ask yourself some screening questions when it comes to the things you think about. We're all familiar with screening questions. Living in the time of a global pandemic, there are certain questions that you'll get asked again and again. I've been asked them when I've gone to the dentist. I've been asked them when I've gone to an appointment with my doctor. These are the same questions that we ask of those coming to worship with us on Sunday mornings in our live service. We ask, have you or anyone in your household experienced any of the following symptoms in the past 24 hours? Have you had a fever above 100.4 degrees? Have you had a cough, or chills, or shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing, or sore throat, or muscle pain, or lost your ability to smell or to taste? We use this as a filter, checking those who enter into worship for any dangerous symptoms that might affect others. In the same way, I'd encourage you to use a filter when it comes to your thoughts in order to see if there are any untrue or dangerous things in your thoughts. Ask some questions about the things that you're thinking about. Questions like, is this even true? And even if it is true, is it helpful? I mean, there are a lot of things that are true, but they're not necessarily helpful to dwell on. And does thinking about this lead me to become more like Jesus? And if so, in what way? Put your thoughts through that screening process, and I believe that'll help you to take every thought captive and to make it obedient to Christ. And after all, that is the goal.